British Columbia, BC, is the westernmost province of Canada, situated between the Pacific Ocean and the Rocky Mountains. The province has a diverse geography with rugged landscapes that include rocky coastlines, sandy beaches, forests, lakes, mountains, inland deserts, and grassy plains. British Columbia borders the province of Alberta to the east, the territories of Yukon and the Northwest Territories to the north, and the United States of Washington, Idaho, and Montana to the south, and Alaska to the northwest, with an estimated population of over 5.3 million as of 2023. It is Canada's third most populous province. The capital of British Columbia is Victoria, while the province's largest city is Vancouver. Vancouver and its suburbs together makes up the largest metropolitan area in Canada, with the 2021 census recording 2.6 million population in Metro Vancouver. The first known human inhabitants of the area settled in British Columbia at least 10,000 years ago. Such a group include the Coast Salish, Chilcotin, and Haida people, among many others. One of the earliest British settlements in the area was Fort Victoria, established in 1843, which gave rise to the city of Victoria, the capital of the colony of Vancouver Island, the colony of British Columbia. 1858 to 1866 was subsequently founded by Richard Clement Mode and by the Royal Engineers Columbia Detachment in response to the Fraser Canyon Golden Rush. Mode selected the site for and founded the mainland colony's capital, New Westminster. The colonies of Vancouver Island and British Columbia were incorporated in 1866, subsequent to which Victoria became the United Colonies capital. In 1871, British Columbia entered Confederation as the sixth province of Canada in enactment of the British Columbia Terms of Union. British Columbia is a diverse and cosmopolitan province drawing on a plethora of cultural influence from its British, Canadian, European, and Asian diasporas, as well as the indigenous population. Though the province's ethnic majority originates from the British Isles, many British Columbians also trace their ancestors to continental European, East Asia, and Southern Asia. Indigenous Canadians constitute about 6% of the province's total population. Christianity is the largest religion in the region, though the majority of the population is non-religious. English is the common language of the province, although Punjabi, Mandarin, Chinese, and Cantonese also have a large presence in the Metro Vancouver region. The Franco-Colombian community is an officially recognized linguistic minority, and around 1% of British Columbians claim French as their mother tongue. British Columbia is the home of at least 34 distinct indigenous languages. Major sectors of British Columbia's economy include forestry, mining, filmmaking and video production, tourism, real estate, construction, wholesale, and retail. Its main export includes lumber and timber, pulp and paper products, copper, coal, and natural gas. British Columbia exhibits high property values and is a significant center for maritime trade. The Port of Vancouver is the largest port in Canada and the most diversified port in North America. Although less than 5% of the province's territory is arable land. Significant agriculture exists in the Fraser Valley and Okanagan. Due to the warmer climate, British Columbia is home to 45% of all publicly listed companies in Canada. The province's name was chosen by Queen Victoria when the colony of British Columbia (1858 to 1866), that's to say the Maryland, became a British colony in 1858, referred to as Columbia District. The British name for the territory drained by the Columbia River in southeastern British Columbia, which was the namesake of the pre-Oregon Treaty Columbia Department of the Hudson's Bay Company. Queen Victoria chose British Columbia to distinguish what was a British sector of the Columbia District from the United States American Columbia or Southern Columbia, which became the Oregon Territory on August 18, 1848 as a result of the treaty. There are 14 designations of parks and protected areas in a province that reflects the different administration and creation of those areas in a modern context. There are 141 ecological reserves, 35 provincial marine parks, 7 provincial heritage sites, 6 national historical sites of Canada, 4 national parks, and 3 national park reserves. 12.5% of the province's area is considered protected under one of the 14 different designations that includes over 800 distinct areas. British Columbia contains 7 of Canadian national parks and national park reserves: Glacier National Park, Gulf Islands National Park Reserves, Guy Harness National Park Reserve and Haida Heritage Site, Katen National Park, Mount Riverstock National Park, Pacific Rim National Park Reserve, Yoho National Park. The British Columbia contains a large number of provincial parks run by BC Parks under the aegis of the Ministry of Environment. British Columbia's provincial park system is the second largest park system in Canada, the largest being Canada's national park system. Another type of the park in British Columbia are regional parks, which are maintained and run by provinces' regional districts. The Ministry of Forestry operates forest creation sites. In addition to these areas, over 47,000 square kilometers of arable lands are protected by the agricultural land reserves. Statistics: Canada's 2021 Canadian census recorded a population of 5 million, making British Columbia Canada's third most populous province after Ontario and Quebec. Transportation played a huge role in British Columbia's history. The Rocky Mountains and ranges west of them constituted a significant obstacle to overland travel until the completion of the Transcontinental Railway in 1885. The Peace River Canyon through the Rocky Mountains was the route the earliest explorers and fur traders used. Fur trade routes were only marginally used for access to British Columbia through the mountains. Travel from the rest of Canada before 1885 meant the difficulty of overland travel via United States around Cape Horn or overseas from Asia. Nearly all travel and freight to and from region occurred via the Pacific Ocean, primarily through the ports of Victoria and New Westminster. Until the 1930s, rail was the only means of overland travel to and from the rest of Canada. Travelers using motor vehicles needed to journey through the United States with the construction of the Interprovincial Highway in 1932. now known as the Crowne's Pass Highway and later the Trans-Canada Highway. Road transportation evolved into the preferred mode of overland travel to and from the rest of the country. As of 2021, the number of electric vehicles sold in British Columbia was the highest of any Canadian province or U.S. state. There are over 200 airports throughout British Columbia, the major ones being the Vancouver International Airport and the Victoria International Airport, the Kelowna International Airport, and the Abbotsford International Airport, the first three of which each serve over a million passengers in 2005. As of 2017, Vancouver International Airport is the second busiest airport in the country and the second biggest international gateway on the west coast after Los Angeles, with an estimated 26.4 million travelers passing through in 2019. The earliest known visual arts produced in the Pacific Northwest and what would become British Columbia was by First Nations such as Coast Salish, Haida, Heiztuk, and Tsimshian, among others. Such indigenous work came particularly in the form of wood carving, as seen in totem poles, transformation masks, and canoes, as well as textile arts like chikat weaving and baton blankets. Traditional indigenous art of Pacific Northwest is typically distinguished by the form-line style, which is defined as continuous flowing curvilinear lines that turn, swell, and diminish in a prescribed manner. They are used for figure outline, internal design elements, and in abstract composition. Western style and forms were introduced to the region through the establishment of British North American settlements in the late 18th century. Notable English-Canadian artists of 18th and earlier 20th century British Columbia include architect Francis Rutherford and designer James Bromfield and painter Emil Carr. Vancouver's art scene was dominated by lyrical abstraction and surrealist landscape painting in mid-20th century through such artists as B.C. Binning, Jack Shadbolt, Gordon Smith, among others. In the following text, the city would undergo more artistic diversification with the emergence of conceptual arts, communication arts, video arts, and performing arts. The Vancouver School of Conceptual Photography encompasses a cohort of Vancouver-based artists who gained notoriety in the 1980s. This school is generally considered to include artists Jeff Wall, Annie Wallace, Kerry Mas, Stan Douglas, and Rodney Graham. Vancouver maintains roughly 350 works of outdoor public arts. Some notable works include Digital Ochre, Girl in a Wetsuit, Angel of Victory, The Birds. British Columbia is the third largest music producing province in Canada, and the local music industry generates an estimated yearly revenue of $265 million USD. The province is home of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, the Akanag Symphony Orchestra, the Vancouver Metropolitan Orchestra, the Vancouver Youth Symphony Orchestra, among others. Some important popular music acts include bands such as Spirit of West, Theory of Dead Man, Tropper, Gob, and the New Pornographers, and solo artists such as Brian Adams, Charlie Lane, James McDermott, Michael Bublé, Nelly Furtado, and Diane Karen. Music festivals include the Squamish Valley Music Festival, Shwamambaha Music Festival and the Pemberton Music Festival. Given its varied mountainous terrain and its coast, lakes, rivers, and forests, British Columbia has long been enjoyed for pursuits like hiking and camping, rock climbing, and mountaineering, hunting and fishing. Water sports, both motorized and non-motorized, are enjoyed in many places. Sea kayaking opportunities abound on the British Columbia coast within forged whitewater rafting and kayaking and are popular on many inland rivers. Sailing and sailboarding are widely enjoyed. Some teams in British Columbia, here it is in sports: Abbotsford Canucks, British Columbia Lions, Kamloops Blazers, Kelowna Rockets, Pacific FC, Prince George Cougars, Vancouver Bandits, Vancouver Canucks, Vancouver FC, Vancouver Giants, Vancouver Warriors, Vancouver Whitecaps, Victoria Royals. British Columbia is home to a comprehensive education system consisting of public schools and independent schools that is overseen by the Provincial Minister of Education. The public school system is divided in 59 Anglophone school districts and one Francophone school district, which the Conseil scolaire francophone de Colombie-Britannique, which operates French-language public schools throughout the province. The Anglophone school districts are governed by school board trustees, who are directly elected by the school district's residents. Although 86% of students are enrolled in the public school system, British Columbia has one of the highest share of independent school enrollment among Canadian provinces, at 14% of the student population. Due to its relatively generous funding model, most independent schools receive 50% of the operating funds that their public counterparts receive from the government. A very small percentage, less than 1% of students, are home-schooled. Like most other provinces in Canada, education is compulsory from ages of 6 to 16, grade 1 to 10, although the vast majority of students remain in school until they graduate from high school, grade 12. At the age of 18, in order to graduate with a graduation certificate known as Dogwood Diploma in British Columbia, students must take a minimum of 80 course credits during grade 10 to 12. These credits include a variety of required courses, for example, language arts, social studies, mathematics, and science, as well as elective courses. Academic achievement in British Columbia is relatively good, although it has been slipping in recent years by some measures. In 2020, 86% of students in British Columbia graduated from high school with 6 years of entering grade 8, according to the 2018 program for the International Student Assessment scores. Students in British Columbia scored the second highest in reading ability, fourth highest in mathematical powers, and the fourth highest in science knowledge of 10 Colombian provinces, although these scores have declined significantly since the 2000 and 2015 assessments. About international students, in September 2014, there were around 14,000 international students in both BC public K-12 schools and BC K-12 schools. British Columbia has a diverse array of higher education institutions ranging from public-funded universities, colleges, and institutes to private universities, colleges, seminaries, and career institutes. Public institutions receive approximately half of the funding from the grants from provincial government, with the remaining revenue stemming from tuition charges and philanthropic donations. Each post-secondary institution sets its own admission requirements, although the standard requirement is the completion of high school. public universities and colleges include some: University of British Columbia, Simon Fraser University, University of Victoria, University of North British Columbia, Vancouver Island University, British Columbia Institute of Technology, Quantel Polytechnic University, Thomson Rivers University, Emile Carr University of Art and Design, Royal Road University, Capilano University, University of Fraser Valley, Douglas College, Kamusun College, Langan College, Selkirk College, College of New Caledonia, College of Rockies, Akanag College, Coast Mountain College, Justice Institution of BC, British Columbia. British Columbia is also home to 11 private colleges and universities located throughout the province, including Quest University, Trinity Western University, Alexander College, University Columbia West, Columbia College, Coquitlam College, Tamwood International College, Ashton College, Branch McDonald, Van West College. Two American universities, Fairleigh-Dickinson University and Northeastern University, also have degree-granted campuses located in Vancouver. As a conclusion, today we have focused about British Columbia, which belongs in Canada. Confederation date was 20th July 1871. Its capital, Victoria. Largest city, Vancouver. City metro, Greater Vancouver. Its total area, 944,000 square kilometers. Land, 925,000 square kilometers. Water, which is equal to 19,000 square kilometers. Ranked 5th, which is 9.5% of Canada. Its total population as of 2021, 5 million people. Its domain name, British Columbian, and the official language being English. Thank you very much for being with us, and see you in other upcoming videos. Bye.